Welcome back, Math 106 class. Lori Jones here with my major Unit 3 individual presentation and results. My initial video, I recorded my activity, which was to choose wine corks from my wine collection of corks. Not my wine collection, but my cork collection. Okay, so here we go. What I was choosing was the Frey wine cork of choice. That's my favorite wine. And so that would go into my successes if I pulled that from the bowl of wine corks. If I pulled a champagne cork or another type of cork, that up there, there we go. Those would go in the failures section or column of my draws. So here we go. I'm going to focus back on my presentation and I will go over it with you. I'll go through it with you. All right, getting into focus here. All right. Going to the first page, here we go. So my activity I chose with a 10% likelihood of success, and that was my cork collection, choosing the Frey wine cork out of a bowl of totaling 75 corks. And the successes or failures were marked on and the cork and it was returned to the bowl because I didn't have that many corks. So Mrs. Brown said I should return it to the bowl, which I did. And I did this activity 50 times, and the success and failures were then calculated. I've attached this previous video to this PowerPoint, and you will be viewing it prior to you viewing this one. So here are my successes and failures. Out of the Frey corks, I was successful in drawing 22 of those corks, and my failures were more than my successes, and that ended up to be 28 corks. My successes probabilities ended up to be 0.44 out of the 50 draws, and calculating that by 100%, I had a likelihood of 44% of success drawing a Frey wine cork from the bowl. And here are my failures. Failure is okay, and we need to fail sometimes to learn from our mistakes. So I'm going to be learning from this project. 50.56 was my probability of failure because I drew 28 corks out of the 50 draws. And multiplying 0.56 by 100%, I had a 56% likelihood of failure. So my success rate was greater than 30%. So I'm going to add a challenge and try to figure out the probability if I choose exactly 12 Frey corks in 14 attempts. And to help with that challenge, I'm going to utilize the super duper phantasmagorical sensational binomial probability distribution formula. Ta-da! And here it is. It looks pretty complicated and scary, but actually once you get to know it and work through it many, many times, it becomes your friend. All right, so the big P will be what I'm looking for, the probability for success in 12 out of 14 trials. The little n is the number of trials, which will be 14. The little x is the successful events, and that will be 12. The little p is the probability of success, which I have already calculated to be 0.44. And the little q is the probability of failure, which has also been calculated 0.56. Going forward, I next insert all the value data that I collected into the equation, and it reads P12 equals 14 choose 12 times 0.44 to the 12th power times 0.56 to the power of 14 minus 12. And that boils down to P12 equals 91 times 0.44 to the 12th power times 0.56 to the power of 2, because 14 minus 12 is 2. The following line, P12 equals 91 times 0.44 to the 12th power times 0.3136. I then continue to calculate P12 equals 91 times, and then I calculated the high exponent last, and it came out to 0.000052 times 0.3136. P12 equals 0.00150261. And with that long number being there, I had to round it down to the 4th decimal point. And that ended up being P12 equals 0.0051 probability. Now, to put the experiment as a problem that could be worked out by other people, I wrote out this problem. And my question was, Lori has 44% success rate at choosing a Frey wine cork from a bowl of wine corks. What is the probability that she will choose exactly 12 Frey corks in a tent? And my answer to that worded problem as a complete sentence with all the appropriate information included is written thus. Lori has a probability of 0.0015 of choosing exactly 12 Frey wine corks from a bowl of wine corks in 14 attempts. Phew! Okay, with that being said, I just want to conclude that with all that hard work and all those calculations, I just want to say cheers and salute, and it was fun while it lasted.